Hey everyone, Cadian Sergeant Steel here, and today I want to teach you how I paint the flamers on my Cadian infantry models. So this effect is a bright yellow down to a sooty black finish on the metal tip of your flamer. This is a great way of showing the effect of heat and also the effect of soot from the burning of promethium on your weapons. So it's a nice gradient transition and actually really easy to accomplish, and I'm going to show you how in today's tutorial. The first thing that I've done with my flamers is base coated them in Balthasar Gold from Games Workshop. So this is that kind of coppery color you see here, but you could finish your flamer tips in any color that you want. This is just the one I chose. The next colors that we'll need is a set of colors to transition from red to the bright yellow. And so for that, what we're going to be using is Korne Red, Evil Sunz Scarlet, Troll Slayer Orange, Fire Dragon Bright, Flash Gitz Yellow, and then finally Dorn Yellow. Now, if you don't have these colors, you can use something just similar. You can look here and see that what I've done is just created this gradient transition from dark red to very, very bright yellow, nearly white, but not quite there. And that's what I like about the Dorn Yellow. So, but any substitute of colors close to this will work. First color we'll start with is our Korne Red, and we'll go to about the halfway point of the flamer tip and start painting there. Now, this can be a very broad stroke. Just do it down here through the middle, do it over the top, down the other side, and then across the bottom as well. So just go ahead and paint that in. You can also go ahead and fade that towards the tip. We're going to be covering that with the oranges and the bright yellows later on, and it won't hurt the effect at all. The next color we'll want to use is Evil Sunz Scarlet. Go ahead and paint that just slightly over your Korne Red. Leave a little bit of the Korne Red exposed, about 2 millimeters worth of your Korne Red, so a very thin strip of it. And then go ahead and paint the Evil Sunz Scarlet also towards the tip of your flamer. We'll do the same thing with our next color, which is Troll Slayer Orange. So use that, keep your Evil Sunz Scarlet about 2 millimeters wide, and go ahead and paint in your orange as well. Now, if you haven't painted towards the tip yet, go ahead and do that, and take your orange all the way to the end. This will give us a good base coat to work off the yellows. Next, we'll want to use our Fire Dragon Bright. Same thing here. For our last two colors, we're going to use Flash Gitz Yellow and Dorn Yellow. For the Flash Gitz Yellow, go ahead and get the whole tip painted in that color and everything underneath as well that's underneath the tip there. So we'll make this a little bit thicker though. Do it about 3 millimeters in thickness if you've been doing about 2 the whole way across, because we're going to cover just the end, just the tip of the flamer in Dorn Yellow to help create that fine transition. Also, don't forget the little ignition point at the end of the flamer here, and go ahead and get a little bit of Flash Gitz Yellow on that as well. We'll go ahead and top that off a little bit of Dorn Yellow in just a moment. So next, get your Dorn Yellow and get a little bit on your brush. What we'll want to do is place that on the very edge of the flamer and cover the tip of the flamer in that Dorn Yellow. Now it's going to take that more vibrant, saturated, rich Flash Gitz Yellow and make it seem like it's transitioning. I think Flash Gitz Yellow is a bit of a harsh color, which makes sense for orcs, but here painting a flamer and creating that gradient transition, it doesn't work as well. But the Dorn Yellow helps to seal the deal and make this a nice, smooth color transition to a very bright point of that intense heat at the end of the flamer. So don't paint too far back in. You only want it about 1 millimeter wide from the end of the flamer back in towards your yellows and oranges. Now, with the yellows, these may be a little thinner, and you may have to do a couple layers of the yellows in order to get the effect you want. And same with the Fire Dragon Bright, to be honest. So take your time, get the color transition that you want on your flamer tips before moving on to the next step. It also doesn't hurt to go back and clean up a little bit. I do it all the time. Now for the next part of this, we're going to create the transition of the soot color. So this will be a black color, and what we're going to use is Nuln Oil. You can also use pigments if you want to, if you have some carbon colored, matte finish pigments that you want to dry brush on here and then seal on, you can do that as well. But what we want to do if you're using Nuln Oil is a wash. Go ahead and coat this over top of the back of the metal of the flamer tip, starting from the Korne Red back. Now we're going to do this in layers. in many layers. This may take 3, 4, 5, or even 6 layers of Nuln Oil to get right. So go ahead and apply your first one, make sure it dries all the way, and to continue this process until you get the darkened transition, you want it to be nearly black at the end of that Korne Red, and then just let the Nuln Oil do its job as a shade and fade back into your Balthasar gold in order to leave some of the metal exposed. So just build it up in nice fine layers of wash until you get your desired effect. Alright, that's it for today. So as you can see here, we get that nice gradient transition on the flamer just the way we wanted. I think that bright yellow really helps to draw your eye in on the model and makes this an excellent finishing point for your army in order to help make them stand out on the battlefield in a really wonderful way. I think the weapons are really how to do that with your infantry models. So, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Hope it was helpful. It's a little bit simple, but hopefully it'll help you achieve what you want to do on your models. So, as always, have fun wargaming, and Cadia stands.